Hi, I'm Jen. Welcome to my channel, Making Love Last. Today, I'm going to tell you all about how to keep the spark alive. I'm a couples and sex therapist, and I've worked with hundreds of couples for almost a decade, and I truly can say I'm an expert in all things passion and relationships. So let's get started. All right, so today we are going to go over how to keep the spark alive, and we do that by actually creating what's called rituals. The reason why I'm talking about rituals specifically today is because creating long-term habits is actually the best way to foster change. Now today I'm going to go over 4 rituals that I want you to implement in your relationship, and once you've mastered them, not only are you going to increase the spark and maintain it for a very long period of time, but you'll have all of your friends and anyone who knows you asking how you got the world's best relationship. So let's get started. The very first ritual that I want you to implement in your long-term relationship to keep your spark alive is called new rituals. New rituals are exactly what you think they are. It's simply trying new things together. Go on vacation to a place that you've never been, or learn something new together. Try a new restaurant, take a class that you've never taken before. Do it together. The reason why implementing new rituals in your relationships work is because in long-term relationships, we tend to get bored with one another over time. In the beginning of your relationship, your brain is very different than it is in the middle or, again, in a long-term relationship. And the thing that is going to help your brain feel like your relationship is new again is by doing new things. The new things and new experiences are going to help give you that energy that you need in order to really nurture that spark. And then it's really going to help aid in the implementation of the other rituals. All right. The second ritual that I'm going to go over today is the one that I know so many of you are interested in. It's called passion rituals. But of course, before I go over passion rituals with you, you must subscribe and like this channel so that you can stay up to date with all of my future videos, especially if you want to learn how to fix your long-term relationship and of course, keep your spark alive. Take this lesson away from today. Passion is not a spark. The problem with the word spark is that it's very short term and it's instantaneous. When you think of spark, you think of a spark of fire. At least that's what I think about. But passion is not a spark. Passion is long-term, consistent, loving, and intentional sexual tension. And if you use the word spark, you actually might not be focusing on the things that you need to do in order to create these long-term habits that you need in order to keep the passion alive in your long-term relationship. Get it? Let me just go over one more example. Think of your intimacy as a car. If you haven't started your car in a really long time, it might take a little while or a couple of turns to get it started. It's definitely going to take a long time to either heat up or cool down depending on what season you're in. But if you always have the car running, then it's so much easier to get where you want to go, and it's also way more comfortable. Specific passion rituals that are going to keep your car running are things like physical touch. What physical touch feels safe to you might be different than what physical touch feels safe for another person. But some examples are going up behind somebody and rubbing their shoulders. Maybe it's a grab in a certain area, or a kiss, or a little kiss with some tongue. Flirtation is another passion ritual. Sexting might be a passion ritual. Every night before you going to bed, I don't know, reading an erotic novel together could be a passion ritual. Showering together without your clothes off, doing massages without your clothes off. All of those things are rituals that help keep that wanting going so that you don't have to restart the car every single time you want to engage in intimate play. And speaking of play, the next ritual that I'm going to go over for you that I want you to implement in your long-term relationship so you can keep the spark and passion alive is called play rituals. Metaphorically, throw your TV out a few times a week. The TV kills all passion and all play. Now, if you both have long days and you come home and all you want to do is sit on the couch and watch your favorite TV show or scroll on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube because that's the thing that helps wind you down, I get that. I'm not telling you to stop. But the problem is, do not do it 6 or 7 days a week because then you are taking away all the time that you have to play. And I literally mean play. Play a board game, play cards, play a sex game. I don't care. I want you to play and have fun together. It is proven that couples who play together will last way longer than couples who don't because they laugh and they engage and they have fun. And that fun and excitement and feeling that you get when you're enjoying yourself is going to help you connect to your partner, remind you why you chose them in the first place, and help make your relationship last. If you need some ideas for two-person games, play Yahtzee, play Spit. They have those apps that you can fill out questions. What do you think your partner would answer? And then you answer it. And then you give it to your partner and they try and answer it. I did that once. It was really fun. Play, again, like cards. They were romance cards. They're called SO, S-O. You can put it in quotes. I've used those a ton of times where you ask your partner questions that you've never asked them before, or you tell a story that maybe you've never told before. They're great prompting questions. Or again, like come up with anything that you have fun with. Play Twister. I don't care. Just find something to play. Okay, the last and most important ritual that I am telling you you need to implement in your relationship if you want the best long-term relationship and you want to keep your spark alive is called communication rituals. Just like play rituals, communication rituals are ones that you implement a few times a week where you sit down and you talk to each other. Sit down at the kitchen table or at the table near the kitchen counter, grab a glass of wine or a glass of water with some lemon, and just talk to your partner about anything you want. Don't criticize, don't stonewall or get defensive, don't be mean to your partner. This is not the time. The specific time for communication rituals is meant for you to join over something that you're both interested in and have a conversation that helps you feel emotionally connected to that person. In addition to sitting across from each other at the table and just talking about things that you're interested in, I also want you to have another kind of communication ritual called a check-in. And a check-in is a once a week time where you and your partner get together and you talk about the things that you were struggling with or that were challenging during the week. They could be things that were challenging about your relationship that you struggled with and you want to talk about it with your partner, or they could be things that were really good in your relationship that you want to say to your partner. The reason why you're going to have a specific separate time for check-ins is because we know that during check-ins, you're probably going to say something to your partner that might feel hurtful or might feel personal to, again, you or your partner. So if you schedule a specific time for that, not only does it give your partner and yourself some time to get emotionally ready to either receive information or give information, but it also makes you feel emotionally ready to receive hard information so that you don't do those things that we know are harmful to relationships, like getting defensive or criticizing. Now, I'm going to go over more in depth these communication things that you should not be doing that are really harmful to your relationship in the next video. But today, I still really want you to focus on these 4 kinds of rituals that I want you to implement in your relationship, because these are really the things that are going to help keep your passion/spark alive in your long-term relationship. I know I just gave you a ton of rituals and things to think about for today. You might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. We talked about new rituals, passion rituals, play rituals, and communication rituals. And you might be saying to yourself, thank you for giving me this information, but also how do I do all of this? This sounds like a lot, Jen. I want you to just start small so you feel like the goals are attainable. I'm not looking for anyone to fail here. And then potentially add or change depending on what works for your specific relationship, because we all know that everyone's relationship is different. As one last really quick reminder, rituals are the things that keep long-term relationships going round. And today we went over new rituals, passion rituals, play rituals, and communication rituals. Communication rituals are twofold, and also stop associating the term spark with passion because they're two different things. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love talking to you all. If you have any questions or comments, please list them below. Don't forget to subscribe and like to my channel, and I'll see you next time.